Check 1, 2.
Right here. Now, I'll introduce you. Just listen to this up.
Okay, good morning, Keith Valley. I think we can get louder than that. Good morning, Keith Valley. One more time. Good morning, Keith Valley. Okay. Good morning and welcome to our 42nd Keith Valley Challenge. We are so glad that you all are here this morning to show and to see how students at Keith Valley help others. Let's give a nice round of applause and cheer as loud as we can for that. We're really thrilled that all of your hard work, your dedication is here on full display. So let's show the community, let's show the world about how we truly set the pace. Again, as loud as you can, let's go, Keith Valley. We're gonna get things started. And students, I'm gonna ask for your cooperation today. We have a lot of speakers. Your peers are going to be introducing those speakers, so let's give everyone their full attention. I'd like to introduce an 8th grade student, Ian Shaw, who's going to be introducing a special guest, Mr. Shaw.
All right. Without the support of our central administration, it would be impossible for Keith Valley to have the KV Challenge. So at this time, I'd like to introduce the superintendent of the schools of the Hatboro-Horsham School District. You know him, you love him, Dr. Curtis Griffin, everyone.
Thank you, and a quick good morning to everybody. I just want to say to the Keith Valley students, thank you. Thank you for your effort, the work that you put into this. There are so many things that I am proud of as being the superintendent of the Hatboro-Horsham School District, but one of those areas that I'm the most proud is the way that we support others in our community. And the work that you have done and the work that you did today will clearly make a difference in the lives of individuals. So always remember how important it is to think of others and how we care for others. And today, this is your day. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Go Eagles!
On the behalf of the Hatboro-Horsham School District, I would like to introduce a familiar face to Keith Valley Middle School, Pennsylvania State Representative Todd Stevens. Representative Stevens is a graduate of Hatboro-Horsham School District, class of 1989, and was a Special Assistant United States Attorney with the U.S. Attorney Office in Philadelphia. Outside the courtroom, Representative Stevens served on the Horsham Planning Commission when Horsham was named the 15th best place in America by CNN Money magazine in 2007. Please give a big KV welcome to Pennsylvania State Representative Todd Stevens.
All right, these microphones always get tall guys like me. So listen, Keith Valley, are you ready to have some fun? Are you ready to get exhausted playing floor hockey for the next couple hours? Are you ready to keep raising money to help other people, other kids that need our help? All right, now this is the tough one. Are you gonna win? Are you gonna win? That's what I wanna know. Are you gonna win? I think that everyone in this room has already won. You guys are raising a ton of money for great causes that are helping people not only in our community, but all across our Commonwealth and all across our country. So for that, I really want to say congratulations and thank you for all that you're doing. And I did take the liberty of getting a House resolution passed. So in the archives of Pennsylvania, it will forever be preserved that you all are participating in the Keith Valley Challenge and raising thousands and thousands of dollars. We're over $1 million now that the Keith Valley Challenge has raised. I am so proud to have Keith Valley as one of the schools I attended. The Hatboro-Horsham School District is my alma mater. I am so proud to represent all of you in Harrisburg as your state representative, and I am just as proud to present this resolution honoring this occasion, congratulating all of you for your efforts, to your principal and superintendent. So if Dr. Griffin and John Kircher could come on up, I'd love to present you with this House resolution. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great time. Have fun, everyone.
It's now my pleasure to introduce second grade teacher from Blair Mill Elementary School, Ms. Marissa Corman.
I don't know if I can lower this. Hi, I'm Marissa Corman, and I was Kylie Jo's second grade teacher at Blair Mill Elementary. I met Kylie and her family 1 month after she was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. It was such a scary time for her family, and they had no idea what they were about to endure. Numerous procedures and surgeries were soon to follow, but I never heard them complain for a moment. Each day that Kylie was in school, she had a smile on her face and acted as if nothing was wrong. She always picked up right where she left off. There were lots of times when Kylie had to miss school for many days or weeks at a time. I would keep Kylie up to date with her schooling and tutor her at home. Kylie and her family are some of the strongest people I've had the pleasure to meet, and I'm so glad that I was able to become her second grade teacher. Kylie was always so excited to plan her Make-A-Wish trip, and now she's going to explain her experience. Here's the bravest little girl that I know, Kylie Jo.
Look at Kai, they're standing for you.
Kylie Jo. I was diagnosed with leukemia a week before my 7th birthday in August of 2015. This was a life-threatening illness and I was afraid to pass away in my sleep. During my treatments, I had many side effects but still pushed through. As I was going through treatment, I heard about Make-A-Wish, and this was a goal my family and I had hoped to reach. Once my 2.5 years of chemotherapy was coming to an end, my parents said we could plan my Make-A-Wish trip. I was so happy and I picked to go to Give Kids the World Village, which is in Disney World. I was told it was like Christmas every day, and trust me, it was. And I couldn't stop smiling. We got to take a limo to the airport, which was so cool because I've never been in a limo. We also got our own little apartment in Disney World at the Give Kids the World Village. The resort was absolutely awesome. They had miniature golf, a carousel, a movie theater, and an arcade. You can play all the games as much as you wanted. They even let me eat Papa John's at midnight. I got to go to Universal Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Magic Kingdom. I was allowed to get in front of every line for each ride. My favorite ride was going on Mount Everest with my mom and going on the new Avatar ride. I am now in remission and no cancer to be found in my blood. I cannot have done it with the love of Jesus and support of my family, friends, teachers, and foundations that have been there for us. Before I end my speech, I would like to make a shout out to my friend Jordan Lucas, who is a 6th grader. She never cared if I was bald or if I looked big from my steroids, and she always helped me laugh. Miss Doherty, who we miss very much and was a big part of my journey, and Miss Corman for always being a support to me and my family in this time of need. I can't thank Make-A-Wish enough for allowing me to be able to have a light at the end of the tunnel after all the pain and ups and downs. Without having the excitement of my Make-A-Wish trip, I don't know if I would have been able to get through this very difficult journey. The money you will be raising can go to a kid just like me and give them one of the best experiences of their whole lives. One more thing, if one of your family members has cancer or have passed away from it, I will always be praying for them. Thank you.
I would like to welcome a very special person who is like family to us here at Keith Valley. However, before introducing our guest, let me give you some background information about the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Founded in 1980 in Phoenix, Arizona, the Make-A-Wish Foundation was born with the dreams of just one boy, Chris Grecius, who wanted to become a police officer. Today, the Make-A-Wish Foundation reaches out to more than 250,000 children around the world. For many years, the Make-A-Wish Foundation has been the primary recipient of the funds raised from the Keith Valley Challenge with the goal of making wishes come true to children in our area. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Dennis Herron, Executive Director for the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Philadelphia, Northern Delaware, and Susquehanna Valley.
Yo, Keith Valley. You know, people ask me what the toughest part of my job is, and clearly it's being a speaker that follows a wish child or a wish mom or dad. Great job, Kylie. She's got CEO written all over her. Great job. And how about those Eagles? Our Eagles. You can take me now, Lord. I've seen the Super Bowl champions. But you know who else is a world champion? Keith Valley Middle School is a world champion. And when I say that you, this school, this wonderful institution is a world champion, I really mean that, because you are. And you're recognized around the world in the Make-A-Wish family as at the top as far as raising funds and awareness for my organization. You guys get it, and you always have. For 42 years, you've decided to put aside your cares, your troubles, your fun, and do something for kids that have been denied the opportunity to simply be a kid. And that is amazing. Many of the Wish recipients have walked these very halls. And the funds that you raised through this event has been transformational to the families that have received that wish. And when you hear young women and young guys and their moms and dads who have received a wish and the wish experience thank Make-A-Wish for that experience, they're not thanking a staff and an business office and all that goes with behind the scenes of Make-A-Wish. They're thanking you, because there's no better representative of Make-A-Wish than this school, this community, this faculty, this school district that is a world champion. On behalf of all the kids, the families, their relatives, their neighbors, their classmates, their teachers, their preachers, whomever that is touched by a severe illness of a child, on behalf of them, thank you, Keith Valley. You're darn good people.
Our guest today is best known as the voice of the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. You've probably heard him calling the games on WIP radio your entire lives. He is regarded as one of the top play-by-play sportscasters in America and has won many awards for his work. Eagles fans will tell you it is not an Eagles touchdown unless Merrill Reese calls it. He has written several books and has also broadcast hundreds of college basketball games as well as tennis on television, and he is part owner of the radio station WBCB in Levittown. Merrill is also a former officer in the United States Navy, which is a great source of pride for him. Please join me in welcoming our special guest, Mr. Merrill Reese.
Thank you very much, and good morning, Keith Valley. It is great to be here. Do we have any Eagles fans here? You know, I have to tell you that I think you guys are great. I have been to a lot of Keith Valley challenges, and it never gets old. What you do is really amazing. But I have to tell you something. I'm going to tell you the secret today of why the Eagles are Super Bowl champions. They weren't the most talented team in the National Football League. In fact, going into this season, I thought if this team really played well and really stayed healthy, they could be pretty good. They could maybe win 9 games. They could win 10 games. They might have a chance of making the playoffs. Well, they surprised me. They surprised everybody because they didn't stay healthy. They had their best offensive lineman go down, Jason Peters. They lost Jordan Hicks, their best linebacker. They lost their all-around weapon in Darren Sproles. They lost their special teams captain, Chris Maragos. They lost their kicker, Caleb Sturgis. They even lost their MVP, Carson Wentz. And still, they overcame everything. And I'm going to tell you why this was possible. And it serves as a lesson to all of us. This was the most unselfish team I have ever seen. Nobody worried about how many passes were thrown in their direction or how many carries they got in the course of a game. They cared about the team. They were unselfish. They cared about each other. Everybody in that locker room rooted for everybody else. And it's the same in your classrooms. If you see a classmate who had a bad day, you go over and pick him up or pick her up and make them feel good about themselves. That was what this team did. They gathered around their teammates. They boosted each other. It was unselfish. It was teamwork to the greatest example that I have ever seen, and it carried them not to the playoffs, but it carried them past the playoffs. It carried them past the Atlanta Falcons with a big second half outpouring against the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings came out, 1, 2, 3, they went right downfield. They never scored again. And it took them to the Super Bowl, and they faced the mighty New England Patriots. Who's gonna beat the Patriots? With Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Well, this team believed all week that they were going out there and come together as a team and beat the Patriots, and that's what they did. It's a lesson that together, being unselfish, being inspirational to one another, you can achieve anything you want. And that's what Keith Valley has done now for 42 years for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'm proud to be here, and I wish all of you nothing but the best. Thank you.
Throughout the years, there have been many faculty and staff members at Keith Valley Middle School that have gone above and beyond in their contributions to the Keith Valley Challenge. Today, we wish to recognize a special person by bestowing upon them an award intended to acknowledge their support of the mission and vision of Keith Valley Middle School through their devotion to the Keith Valley Challenge. At this time, I would like to introduce 6th grade guidance counselor, Ms. Jamie Scholl, who will share about this year's recipient.
Years ago, I was sitting where all of you are sitting, waiting for the first puck to drop to officially kick off the Keith Valley Challenge. 3 years later, it was time for my brother to participate in the challenge. At that time, my mom, who always was looking to help others in any way she could, decided that she was going to volunteer to work in the kitchen. Keep in mind, this is when it was an overnight marathon. While volunteering her time to help others was not something that surprised me, her telling me she was going to work in the kitchen was. I found this quite ironic because growing up, the kitchen was my mom's least favorite room in the house. And who am I kidding? It still is. Sorry, Mom. I think she spent more hours combined in this school's kitchen than she has in her own. The Keith Valley Challenge holds a special place in my family's heart. My brother Joe, my sister Amanda, and I were all fortunate to participate in the challenge. My mom was a big part of this day. In fact, she was a big part of this day for about 17 years. My dad, who also volunteered, was a presence in the kitchen for all of those years as well. You see, my dad had a keen sense of planning. He was able to figure out just how many chicken fingers, hot dogs, and slices of pizza we would need to feed a very hungry group of about 400 8th graders. My mom, well, she and I aimlessly walked through Sam's Club, buying an insane amount of soda, Gatorade, candy, and whatever other kinds of junk food we could get our hands on. There was no rhyme or reason whatsoever. However, we always made it work. I used to love this annual trip to Sam's Club. You should have seen the looks that we got. Besides the ridiculous looks, we would have complete strangers come up to us and ask, why are we buying so much soda and candy? My mom, with her enthusiastic voice, in true Colleen Scholl fashion, would start to explain the challenge and the role that she took on to feed those hungry 400 kids. Needless to say, we got a lot of questions, but my favorite was always, are you serious? Are you nuts? To which my mom would respond, of course I'm nuts, and I love every second of it. What many people see on the day of the challenge is what I would refer to as the final product. The amount of behind-the-scenes work that goes into planning this day is unbelievable. I can't even begin to add up the countless number of phone calls, emails, and letters that my mom wrote to local businesses over the past 17 years. The weeks leading up to the challenge were pretty hectic, to say the least. My mom spent many of those evenings driving all over Montgomery and Bucks counties to pick up donations, food and beverage items, and various pieces of equipment. All of this done on her own time. I would like to end by letting you know that there are 3 things in life that my mom loves more than anything else: our family, our dog, and helping others. If I had to put them in order, our dog would probably be first, being honest. I may be slightly biased, but I truly believe that she is the most selfless, caring, and humble human being that I have ever met. Whenever someone is in need, especially children, my mom is the first person to drop whatever she is doing and figures out a way to help. Her 17 years of volunteer work did not go unnoticed. My mom is the type of person who does all of this work and looks for zero recognition, which speaks to her character. I know she is crawling in her skin as I speak because she is not a fan of being acknowledged, especially in front of such a large crowd. Please join me in celebrating the much-deserved recognition and remarkable work of my mom, Kylie Jo. And yes, we see you hiding over there in the corner, and you need to come up. Hiding down there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Scholl. The Gregory Telhorster Keith Valley Challenge Lifetime Service Award is given to an individual who exemplified the qualities demonstrated by Mr. Telhorster in all aspects of his life: selflessness, conscientiousness, positivity, enthusiasm, and joy in working with others for the good of all. It is my extreme privilege to present the Gregory Telhorster Keith Valley Challenge Lifetime Service Award to Mrs. Kylie Jo. In addition to receiving a plaque, we're also honored to present each award recipient with a portion of the funds raised for the Keith Valley Challenge. Ms. Scholl, on behalf of all the participants in the 42nd Keith Valley Challenge, we present you with a check in the amount of $1,000 to donate to the charity of your choice.
I've had the pleasure of feeding all of you at Keith Valley. Like Jamie had said, my 3 children went through here, Jamie, Joe, and Amanda, and every year somebody would say to me, why do you keep doing this year after year? This right here is the reason we do it. This little girl right here and the many others that we can help. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Kylie, I'd like to give this to you. All right, so that's for your Make-A-Wish.
Congratulations, Mrs. Scholl. At this time, we're also going to take the opportunity to recognize our top individual fundraisers and then our top team fundraisers. One thing that we take great pride in is the amount of money that we're able to raise for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. As it was mentioned earlier, in the lifetime of the Keith Valley Challenge, we've been able to raise over $1 million for charity, which is an amazing accomplishment. Please make some noise about that. This year for the Keith Valley Challenge, the student that raised the 3rd most amount of money, raising $470, Allison Randa. Please come up. Come on up. The student that raised the 2nd most amount of money this year, raising $500, Madia Ahmed, please come on up. And the student that's raised the greatest individual amount of funds this year for the Keith Valley Challenge, raising $845, Tony Evangelista. You guys stand together and just look, get a picture real quick. The Keith Valley Challenge is obviously an experience that the entire school gets to participate in, and it's great to see teamwork come together. At this time, we're going to take the opportunity to recognize the two teams that collectively have raised the most for this year's Keith Valley Challenge. The team that raised the second most, raising a total of $1,690. Team 4, the Violet Vipers, please stand up. Thank you. And this year, the team that has raised the most collectively as a group, they'll also have the honor of playing against the KV staff in the very last game scheduled for 11:45 tonight. Team 27, the Mint Green Monarchs. They had raised $2,060. Thank you. Again, great job. We're coming to the close of our assembly. There's still a few things that we're going to do, including the ceremonial puck drop. I do want to say thank you to each of our special guests for making this year's Keith Valley Challenge a very special event. We've been inspired by the message you have shared with us today. Again, thank you. I'd also like to reach out and say a special thank you. This is her first year serving in this role. I know she's done an outstanding job. Please come on up. Thank you, Mrs. Bardsley. Okay, if we can have our individual fundraisers join us. It's time to reveal a very special number that represents many months of hard work. I ask you guys to come on up and join us. The grand total raised for the 42nd Keith Valley Challenge, $40,421. Great job, thank you. Before we get things started and ceremonially drop the first puck, we ask that you join us in honoring our nation and rise as this year's KV Idol winner Audrey Kim sings our national anthem. if we can go ahead and create some space in the middle of the floor, we're going to drop the first puck.
Okay, so we need the mint green Monarchs and the violet Vipers at the center of the court, please. Violet Vipers, mint green Monarchs.
Okay, let's count it down. 10, 9.
All right, Keith Valley, let's get loud, get loud. Okay. KV, I need your attention for 30 more seconds so we get started. You've heard today about giving to others. You've heard today about showing empathy and kindness and caring. That is truly what this is all about. So again, one more time. Let's go, KV, as loud as you can. A little louder, a little louder. Okay. Now, items of business. 7th graders, raise your hand, 7th graders. Starting with that section this way, we're going to dismiss. You're going to go back to class. 7th grade, that